Sonic the Hedgehog, also known as Sonic the Hedgehog Classic, is a remastered version of the 16-bit version of Sonic the Hedgehog, 1991, for the Sega Mega Drive. It was developed by Christian Whitehead and Headcanon using the Retro engine, the same game engine used for the 2011 remaster of Sonic the Hedgehog CD. The game was first announced by Sega on March 26, 2013. It was released in May 2013 for iOS and Android devices, with the iOS version being a free update to those who purchased the earlier port of the game. It was also included in Sonic Origins. Trying to emulate the physics of the original Sonic the Hedgehog is a 2D side-scrolling platform video game. The game also uses an autosave feature that saves the player's progress at certain points. Like in the original game, Sonic the Hedgehog is divided into 7 zones, all of which have 3 acts each with a battle against Dr. Eggman at the end of the 3rd act, with the exception of Final Zone, which is a single, short act. The goal is to finish each act in under 10 minutes. Rings are found in each act, where collecting 100 of them will award an extra life, as well as grant points. They also serve as a form of protection, for if the player touches a badnik or a hazard, they will survive at the cost of losing all of their rings. And if they are hit without any rings, they'll lose a life. The player will also lose a life if they either fall into a bottomless pit, get crushed, drown underwater, or run out of time. Upon losing a life, the player will restart the current act from either the beginning or at the last star post they passed. If all lives are lost, the game is over. New features. The spin dash is now included as an optional move. Despite not being officially introduced yet in the series, Miles Tails Prower and Knuckles the Echidna are unlockable characters, with mild tweaks to the level design to accommodate their gameplay. They both retain the same movesets they had in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Tails can also accompany Sonic like he did in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. Tails is unlocked by completing the game once, while Knuckles is unlocked by completing the game with all 6 Chaos Emeralds. While playing as Sonic and Tails, the player is able to control Tails' flight by pressing jump while holding up. Sonic can then jump onto Tails' arms and control him to fly around until he tires or lands on solid ground. A hidden 7th Chaos Emerald and special stage was included via level select. As such, super transformations of Sonic, Tails and Knuckles are also enabled. Another custom special stage is accessible via level select, where it can be designed and edited by the player using debug mode. Once saved, it will then become the current 7th special stage that will override the default 7th special stage. A time attack mode is included. The hidden level select has now the style of that from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Changes. The game now plays in widescreen and supports 60 FPS. Due to this, the arena of the Egg Wrecker boss fight in Green Hill Zone now has a wider arena. The arena of the Egg Stinger boss fight now has 2 solid gilders on the sides. Due to this, during the Egg Crusher boss fight, the player can avoid the pistons by simply going to the far left or right of the screen. The Egg Wrecker can no longer be prematurely attacked until the wrecking ball has been fully deployed. The life HUD is now displayed at the top right corner of the screen as opposed to being located at the bottom left corner of the screen. However, in the Apple TV version of the game, the life HUD is shown at the bottom left corner. The title screen now changes based on the player's characters. As such, it can alternatively display Miles Tails Prower in Sonic the Hedgehog, for Tails alone, Sonic the Hedgehog and Tails, for Sonic and Tails, or Knuckles the Echidna in Sonic the Hedgehog, for Knuckles alone. Spikes on the wall and rings in the air that can only be reached by Tails or Knuckles have been added above the lamp post between the 2S tunnels near the end of Green Hill Zone Act 1. Special stages now rotate smoothly. Time Attack is a new mode exclusive to this game in which the player has to pass acts in the least amount of time possible. The only playable character here is Sonic. All 1-up item boxes are removed, but the time HUD also counts milliseconds. Also, special stages here count time, but not points or rings. When using Time Attack, the players select a zone and act to race through. The acts available depend on how far the player has gotten in the game. Upon completing an act, the player is graded based on their time. The game saves and records the player's best times, which can be compared to those on a personal list of best time logs. In the Google Play Store, Sonic the Hedgehog holds a rating of 4.3 of 5 based on 258,048 reviews.